So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Just woke up, but yeah, it's your boy Zer Jr. losing brain cells, the usual, and Warframe, no biggie. You know how it goes. But yeah, today I will talk about the most important things to learn about rivens. Number one, the best stats for gameplay, popularity, and to sell. Stats are critical chance, critical damage, multi shot, damage, fire rate, and any element. It must include a negative in terms of it having more value, which the negatives are negative ammo maximum, negative zoom, negative puncture, negative impact, and negative plus weapon recoil. Negative zoom cannot be rolled on shotguns. Keep in mind that many different other types of negatives could affect the weapon. An example, negative magazine capacity on an Exceltra. The base ammo magazine capacity is pretty low on that weapon, so it would affect significantly. You need to study the weapons for what it is, every single stat possible. The more you know, the better. Keep in mind that in terms of positive stats, there's a lot of positive stats that may not work on the weapon. Like I said, studying the weapon 100% and knowing the base stats and information about the weapon is very important. So, an example, a weapon that does not do crit at all with very low crit chance may not benefit in any type or possible way. Just keep those things in mind. These positive stats and negative stats mainly apply to primaries and secondaries. But there are some positives and negatives that are beneficial to melees, which we'll get into now. Number 2, stats for throwable melee weapons and normal attack melees. In terms of normal attack melees, these stats include attack speed, critical chance, critical damage, damage, range, and any element. Must include a negative in terms of having higher value. Main negatives are negative crit chance for slide attack, negative finisher damage, and negative heavy attack efficiency. These negatives are pretty harmless for what people want in terms of rivens for normal melees. Now for throwable melees in terms of positive stats, which are critical chance, critical damage, damage, initial combo, and any element. Must have a negative to increase its value. The negatives consist of negative crit chance for slide attack, negative heavy attack efficiency, and a negative finisher damage. These three negatives are the most popular of what people want in trade chat nowadays. Now that you know an idea for popular stats for gameplay and to sell, now let's move on to something very important. Number 3, examples of top tier and perfect rivens. These are called the God rolls. If you roll a riven and get these stats, they can range between 4,000 platinum to 10,000 or up to 30,000 platinum. All depends on the weapon and the rarity. If you do ever get this roll, please message me in game on Twitch when live or send me a screenshot on Discord or in YouTube comments. I don't want anyone to get scammed. Number 4, the best way to sell your rivens. I mainly use trade chat to sell my rivens. It's something that's not for everyone, but worth it. If you don't like the fact of being in trade chat, posting for minutes or hours, I suggest you think about this clearly. Keep in mind, based on experience, the more you post in trade chat, the more people will notice you. Another method that really helps is using filters in trade chat so you can see what people want to buy instead of not seeing what people are selling. Number 5, things to look out for in trade chat. If you're posting a riven in trade chat and you put PMO because you're not sure of the price, if you get more than 5 messages at once or 10 messages in between a couple seconds, make sure you double check with me and tell me the stats of your riven because your riven may be very valuable. There's a lot of things to look out for in terms of scammers or people like that. Just be careful. So think twice in terms of when you get a lot of messages about your Riven. That means it's probably really, really valuable, or it has some type of value. So be careful if you're getting a lot of messages more than once in trade chat in between a couple of seconds. Keep that in mind. Other things to look out for in terms of your Riven. If you do send me your Riven on Discord, or with the stats on the YouTube comments, with the weapon name and negative, etc. If I tell you a specific price for your Riven, and let's say your Riven is worth 1,000 platinum, as an example, if you put PMO in the trade chat because you don't want to put the full price, right? Just to see what type of offers you can get. So PMO means private message offer. If someone gives you an offer of 300 plat, or 200 plat, or between 400 plat, that means these people are resellers. Not everyone, but there's a lot of people who are like that. So if your Riven is worth 1,000 plat and there's any offer under 500 plat, then I wouldn't really sell it to them unless you really want to, because you never know. There's so many people, like I said, who wants to make a quick buck. So be careful, and it's up to you based on what you want to do. Number 6, having a better chance of selling a Riven. Now, if you have a lot of Rivens that are for classic weapons like the Kuva Ogress or stuff like that that are just OG weapons, you could sell these Rivens depending on the stats. But nowadays, it's all about popularity. So in terms of popular stats, popular weapons, and things that is mainly mentioned a lot in the community. So whatever weapon or sentinel weapon, let's say, example Verglis, Torrid, or Akikor, weapons like these is what people really care about in the trade chat. I'm not saying that if you have a Riven that is not popular, it's not going to sell, but it is a better chance of selling if you were to focus on things that are very popular in the community in terms of weapons, for having these Rivens for these specific types of weapons. Overall, especially nowadays, anything that has to do with any type of Incarnon weapon in terms of a Riven for Incarnons usually has a better chance of selling compared to normal weapons. There are some normal weapons that are really good and outperform others, but that varies depending on person to person. One weapon that is really good that is not an Incarnon is Akikor. That's just an example. And number 7, a bot that grades your Riven. I have a bot on Discord that grades your Riven, and what does it do? This bot consists of grading your Riven, kind of like if you're grading Pokemon cards, let's say, but for Rivens, right? AKA the purple mods. So anyways, this bot, what it does is it tells you if your stats are higher than usual, meaning that some people who grade Rivens, this is mainly used for collector purposes or to double check in terms of if you're a buyer or a seller. If the percentage is lower than usual, the bot will tell you if the percentage, for an example, crit chance is an F grade. That means that, an example, the crit chance is normally 80%. Anything under is an F grade, which is the worst of the worst in terms of the roll. Anything higher than 80% would go between C, B, A, or S grade. The highest is a S grade. If you have multiple S grades on your Riven with good stats, then it may be more valuable, or you have a better chance of asking your asking price based on the worth of your Riven. That's all what the bot is mainly used for. It doesn't tell you the value of your Riven. It's just a tool for you to use and go by in terms of stats for higher percentages than normal, or lower percentages, or just normal rolls. If you get a C grade on your Riven, or all C's, it doesn't mean that your Riven is less valuable. That's like in between, So C is like the normal roll. Anything under or anything higher is something that you should keep in mind in terms of selling. It's mainly used for higher value Rivens. You can use it for normal Rivens that are not good or great. It's up to you. But just knowing is helpful either way. Now, these are the top 7 things that I can include for this video. There's a lot of things involved to learn about Rivens, so please bear with me and have patience. It would take too long for me to help you in all-in-one video. So, I just want to do it little by little, and hopefully you can tune in. And I hope this kind of helps best way possible. If there's any other questions, please let me know. There's a lot of other things, but these are just some examples that I want you to keep in mind. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. I hope this helps. Please like, share, tell your friends about me. If you ever want to price check a Riven, for now, please ask me. And yeah, hope you really enjoyed this video. It means a lot. And thanks. Take care.